Well. Revenge porn tape has brought me back to the light. So, what do we really know? Miss Carson Blue has given us a lot, but there's still pieces that don't quite fit together. And I'm not even sure if she knows how they fit together or who's doing what and who's behind what. I mean, it's like who's using who? You know, I do think Carson, with her knowledge of what she knew, became a pawn, strategically placed into a tea party in which she was going to be in proximity with Melanie Holt. A woman who she knows was a target of revenge porn. Who does that? What manipulating hands was behind that? Okay. There's so much manipulation going on here. And the question is, who is spearheading this manipulation? Carson is just a pawn. I don't think she knows all the ins and outs of what actually was going on and why she was brought to the show. So here it is. First of all, Love and Marriage Huntsville following has become cult-like. You have your die-hard fans of the show who just like the show and watch it for just that pure entertainment. But then you have your fans of the show who are die-hard fans of one particular cast member more over the other. Okay? Then you have your bloggers, okay, who are out here trying to make a coin off reviewing the show. And some are very passionate, some are very passive, some are very what's the word I'm looking for? Some are very messy in that they are looking for dirt that isn't even there, So the whole dynamic of the fan base, the vloggers around the show, there's so many layers to it. And it's like, you fall into one bucket when it comes to that. I think I fall into the bucket of I'm a fan of the show, but I think I'm more interested in the human dynamic of how things are going on, with Martel and his narcissism and how Melanie overcame the abuse and all the slander that this man had put out on her, and just the pure narcissism of the things that he has done. It's that human dynamic is interesting to me. Like, I know when I watch him, he says certain things that align with just lies and manipulation. When he says things of that nature or something like that. You know, he makes a thought, but it's not a clear and a concise thought. That's because he's trying to lie his way through it. You know, and so that whole dynamic is interesting to me. Like, this is mind-boggling to see someone operate like that, and to see Melody persevere through that is also encouraging, I would say, and it's a sight to see, you know. And I like strong women who don't back down to, or who don't become victims of their circumstance, right? So even with that said, you know, it's still hard, and that is relevant, or that was apparent when she just did her last live, and it was very emotional for her finding out that your ex-husband, who you were tied to, married to for 14 years, contemplating on putting out a video of you and him under the guise of it being from someone else. You know, the revenge porn. That's the lowest of the low. But it's not surprising when you take into the fact that Martel has narcissistic tendencies. This is the actions of a narcissistic person, allegedly, in my opinion. I mean, you know, no one's, you know, I know, and I've listened to a lot of information regarding narcissism. And to be frank, it's been because of this show. And how Martel has moved throughout the show. I've watched all of his interviews that are available on YouTube, you know, and where he deflects, where he takes no accountability, and then even when he tries to take accountability, he spins it back on Melody, as if everything she did or have done resulted in his actions. No, it's because of who you are, sir. It's your need for it's your narcissistic appetite, your need to be praised, your need to be the focus of attention, your need to be hey, here I am, look at me, you know. Even listening to men who've talked about being narcissists, because they are narcissists. This one man said, everything I did was to hurt her. Everything I did was to hurt her. Literally. You know, there was no other reason of me doing what I was doing other than to hurt her. And I think that is what Martel is going through, or yes, what he's going through. You know, all his moves, whether they're calculated or not, in his head, it's just to hurt her. You know? No more, no less. Because she took away his main source of narcissistic supply by divorcing him, by removing herself from his life, by only interacting with him when it comes to the kids. And speaking of that, yes, that's why he uses those kids, in my opinion, to keep her sort of locked in this dynamic, because she has to deal with him. The course has mandated it, but I wish the course would have really analyzed everything surrounding this man and the things that he has said. You know, they are not privy to all the lives and all the dirty things that he has done. They're not privy of that. And even if they've been presented with that, some of that stuff is admissible. You know, you can't even use it, you know. So you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place if you're Melody. You know, you have to deal with him until them babies are 18, 17 years old. So I can't imagine how hard it is and how she does have to push through. So, but back to the revenge porn gate within itself, I'm gonna have to make this a part 2. I'm gonna have to make this a part 2 because Carson Blue, you're a pawn, sweetheart, in this whole mess of things. And I'm going to try to put together this puzzle, because it's a puzzle, but I don't know exactly. I cannot be 100% exactly sure as to who's masterminding this puzzle. Because it starts with Bernicia. It starts with Bernicia. I kind of have a theory. I don't think they banked on Carson Blue revealing that she knew about the plan to expose or put out this revenge porn. I don't think they banked on that. Backfired.